Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, May 17th. It is just a couple minutes after 8 o'clock. I am getting in the garden early today. We are hitting the 90s today. We are just, I know it's still spring, but we're hitting summer weather. I know my radio station, my weather station that we have in the yard says I'm going to hit 90. I think it was either 90 or 91 today. The news says yesterday was saying 99. I saw something today said 101. We're not going to get, I don't think we're going to get that hot because my one in the yard is usually pretty accurate. I am doing an experiment this year, and I didn't think about making a video about it until yesterday. It was suggested to me. So I've got 3 kinds of okra that I'm going to grow this year. And I'll tell you more about them as I go into the garden and show you what I've already done, because I have already gotten started a little bit today. A couple of weeks ago I started. So I have 3 kinds of okra, and one of them I grew last year and the other 2 are new this year, and we're going to do an experiment and see which one we like the best. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the one from last year, so let's move into the garden and I'll tell you what's going on. Okay, so the first one is from Dave's Garden Seeds. This is Dwarf Long Green Pod Okra. And I've already got it in this bed. I did this one, started this one probably about a month ago. I soaked the seeds for a couple hours before I planted them. They all came up except for these 2 right here. That one didn't come up, and I threw a couple more seeds in there and 2 came up that time. So I'm going to leave them. They're a little close together, but they'll be fine. I've planted them in clumps, you know, of about a foot circle with 4 or 5 okra in there, and they've done very well. So I planted these last year, and they did really well. I did them in a higher bed, and I jotted down notes when I got them because it wasn't on the box, but it said they would get 2.5 to 3 feet tall. Well, they easily got 6 feet tall, and they were already in an 18-inch bed, so they were very high for me to pick. They produced very well, and the okra was very nice, and I have no complaints on this one. So I did do it. It started again this year, and then I thought, well, you know, maybe I should try a couple other varieties too. So about probably 2 weeks after I planted the ones you were just looking at, I planted these, and these are also these Dwarf Long Green Pod Okra from Dave's Garden Seeds. And I planted a big long line of them, and I just planted them clumped all together like that in a big line. And this end came up, and one at the very other end came up, and the stuff in the middle did not. So I'll put something else in there. And then behind it I've got some Cherokee Trail of Tears black beans, and then I've got a couple of loofahs. These loofah seeds were 10 years old, and they sprouted. They all sprouted. It's like, oh, I'll just throw a handful in there. I'm not sure if they're going to sprout. They sprouted. They all sprouted. And then I've got some more loofahs down here. If y'all want some loofah seeds, leave me a comment and we'll figure out a way I can send you some. They're 10 years old, but they're growing. So that's what I've got already planted, is the Dave's Garden Seed. And like I said, the first bed was about a month ago. And I have this bed prepped. This is a 2 by 10 foot bed. And let's see, what am I putting in here? I have already prepped this bed. It's ready to go. I was worried Mordecai was going to get into it, but he didn't. And I won't fence around this one as long as he doesn't get into it. We lost the little white silky the other night, and he's the only one I've got to worry about. And he's usually pretty good. So this bed is going to be, hold on, I've got him in my pocket. This bed is going to be the Heavy Hitter. This is from Baker Creek, so rareseeds.com, and it's just called Heavy Hitter, and it looks like it grows good clumps of pods. Now, if you've ever grown okra, you know you have to pick okra sometimes twice a day because the pods grow so fast. So I'm expecting over the summer I will be out here twice a day picking, especially if it has you know, like this. Soak seeds for 24 hours. I put them in to soak last night. I had one that floated. I don't know if that means that it's a bad seed or not, but I've soaked 7 seeds. I can put 7 okra in here comfortably. I'm going to put them towards the back, and then I'm going to put some zinnias in front of them, just to bring in some pollinators. And I like zinnias. So this is what I'm doing today, the 17th, is this heavy hitter. And then I'm just going to leave that there. And then I have this bed, which is also a 2 by 10 foot bed, and you can see it's kind of low. This one has been empty. The other one has been empty. Both of these have been empty for well, last year I had some brassicas in here, but the other one has been empty for 2 years. It hasn't had anything planted in it. We had some bad nematodes in these beds, and I didn't want to tempt it. And I know the okra will tempt it, but it is what it is. I do have a couple of sweet potatoes coming up over there from last year that crept around from the other bed, but I did pull all the weeds out of here. I got a little piece of string in there that I'll pull out. A couple more weeds that I'll pull out that have come back since the other day when I weeded. And then I've got a couple bags, 3 bags of garden soil, and then I've got some bags of manure compost that I'll throw on top. And then I'll be ready to plant this one. And Maisie, what do you have? No, don't eat that. Darn dog. Yes, Maisie, you want to say hi? Say hi, Maze. Say hi. Don't eat that. She's got a chunk of what was chicken food that got wet. Maisie, don't eat that. And it's all stuck together and icky. I don't need her eating that. So anyway, and this one is going to be the Louisiana 16-inch Long Pod, also from Baker Creek. So rareseeds.com. Same instructions. So if I finish this bed today, I will soak these tonight and plant them tomorrow. But I think it said you could eat they were good to eat up to 8 inches. So yeah, those are my 3 kinds of okra, and we're gonna see how they do and which one we prefer. Salty likes to eat it fresh in the garden. It's very good for you. Okra's super good for you. I like it fried, and we'll be coming up with a salty cancer approved fried okra recipe somehow. I also like to put it in soups and stews. It's a nice thickener, and it's just a good all-around thing, and it's really good for you. Look it up. So I'm going to get to work. I'm not going to have the camera running while I'm working, but so there's my soaked seeds. I've got holes, came in 9 inches, and then every 18 inches. These 2 are a little closer because I ran out of room, and I wanted to, now that I've soaked the seeds, I want to plant all of them. So that's what I got. I'm going to get these in and water them in. Okay, so this bed is prepped. I'm going to soak my seeds. I just got to pick up my empty bags. I'll soak my seeds and I'll plant these in the morning. I think I'm going to put dahlias over here with these. I don't know, maybe I should do the zinnias in all the beds and see what the difference is. I mean, they do get different amounts of sunlight, so I think, who knows? I don't know. So it is 9:30. I've been out here for an hour and a half. I ran the weed whacker for a little bit also, and ran out of string in the weed whacker, but I'm pretty much done for the day. We are pushing between 80 and 82 right now, so gonna go in, hit the shower, and find something inside to do today. A bag, a bowl, a dress, I don't know, a quilt. I got stuff on the ready to go. Thanks so much for joining me today.